are already in mid-campaign form. Let's talk about it with Left Coast News host Ethan Behrman and American Conservative Union Chairman Matt Schlapp. Great to have both of you with us tonight.
Great to be here.
Great to see you,
so
Shannon.
listen, the former Vice President Joe Biden and President Trump going after each other like crazy, sort of ignoring everybody else that's in the field on either side, because there are some on the GOP side making some noise too. Ethan, where do you think this goes? I mean, there are almost 24 formal candidates on the Democrat side, and Joe Biden's leaving them all in the dust for now.
Well, it is early for polls. Yeah, we both know this if we think back to the 2016 campaign on the Republican side, you know, how that boiled out from this early in the season. But Joe Biden has tremendous name recognition. He has a long history of connecting in the Rust Belt states, in states like Pennsylvania, in the Midwest. People know his name. They know who he is. He connects with the voters. He connects with the working class. There's a good reason why he polls so well against President Trump in states like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and he does. The president tonight in Pennsylvania whipping him into a frenzy there. Our reporter Brian Yenna said there were like 10 people who fainted waiting for him and during the speech because it was so hot and so crowded. But here's what the president said tonight about the former vice president born in Pennsylvania.
Biden deserted you. He's not from Pennsylvania. I guess he was born here, but he left you, folks. And he didn't take care of you because he didn't take care of your jobs.
I mean, Matt, he says it sounds like he's skipping the primary, like it's on.
Right. Well, look, it's very impressive. I agree. Joe Biden's numbers in these polls against the other Democrats are very impressive. He started off on a good foot, and he hasn't had a major gaffe yet, which is really good for Joe Biden. So, yeah, we ought to give him some credit for the fact that he started off strong. I think the theme for President Trump is just like he said, which is lunch bucket Joe. Blue-collar Joe actually did a really horrible job in the Obama-Biden economy of taking care of the guys who had the names on the front of their jerseys, the union jobs, the manufacturing jobs we lost during the Obama years, the fact that they believe in this radicalized view of global climate change where energy prices will double or triple. That hurts middle-class families, and it also just hurts people who want to make things in America.
Well, but we see with the former vice president that he seems to be trying to be careful to not go too far, as so much of the field has to the left with the Democrats, with abolishing ICE and the Electoral College and packing the Supreme Court and all kinds of other things that are going on. He's staying much more mainstream. But Ethan, in that, he's taken a lot of heat from the left and people who are standing up and saying, people like the Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez saying things like, no way, these are the guys that want to go middle ground. They haven't delivered for us. They have a litmus test on all kinds of things, and they are not going to back this guy because they think he's too centrist.
Well, the Democratic Party is a very big tent. There's no question about it, with the progressive left, with the more centrists. And I want to correct one thing that Mr. Schlapp just said, though. So under Obama-Biden, the unemployment in the state of Pennsylvania peaked at 8.8% at the end of the Great Recession, which started under President Bush, and was all the way down at 5%. When President Obama left office. So Pennsylvania did very well under Obama-Biden as well. So that is just factual.
Then why didn't they vote for Hillary?
Yes.
Well, how do you think that President Trump was able to convince them to leave their blue state roots now and come with him?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I mean, look, we can talk about the mistakes that were made in the Clinton campaign, which I know none of the Clinton people want to hear about, but she made a number of mistakes. It's clear already that Joe Biden is not making those mistakes. It's clear already that people like Mayor Pete are not making those same mistakes. They're connecting, they're reaching out, they're going to the communities, they're talking to people. People like Mayor Pete are coming on Fox News and talking to Fox News viewers.
Wow.
They're learning from what happened in 2016 and reaching out to a broad base of people.
I mean, we like that. We had Congresswoman Gabbard with us last week, and we invite Democrats all the time. We've had former Congressman John Delaney, who's running. We've had Andrew Yang and Marianne Williamson. I mean, our doors are open. We want to hear from people, and I think our viewers want to hear from them. But, Matt, listen, if it ends up being Joe Biden, he is being smart about going to these states that Democrats Democrats feel like they never should have lost, reconnecting with the union bosses and the workers there and that kind of thing. I mean, they're playing it smart.
Look, the fact that they want to go on the #1 rated cable news station, congratulations for having half a brain. That's pretty smart. Congratulations, you want to go to states like Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin. I guess we'll give you a trophy for actually trying to go talk to voters. Here's the problem for Joe Biden and the rest of the Democrats, is that if you want to say the economy in Pennsylvania got better than after the worst recession we ever saw in our nation's history, if that's your talking point, go for it. Because here's what the voters in Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin understand, is that the Trump policies of lower taxes, less regulation, constitutionalist judges are actually giving people economic hope, and all the polls show it. Look at the right track numbers. Look at the customer confidence surveys. They're all through the roof.
So we'll have to see whether people are happy about the economy and they're content and that drives them to vote, or people who are really fired up and don't believe this guy ever should have been president are the ones who show up. It's all about the turnout, as we know. We'll see. Ethan and Matt, thank you very much.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
All right, a tale of